where we talk about some hot topics on the internet, different trends, different places of conversation, and yeah, bringing it here.
Yeah, and I think this is a segment that could be taken for weeks on end because there's so many different topics to talk about.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. But Mia, I understand you have a topic idea that you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, I do. So something that I've been seeing a lot of people, especially around our ages, talking about on the internet is the death of third spaces. Do you guys know what that means?
No idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so third spaces, one of the main things I was kind of seeing people talk about was malls going away, and how if you watch any kind of older movies that people are like, oh, let's all go to the mall. It was an activity, it was something to do, whether you're shopping or just hanging out, sitting in a food court and talking. That third spaces have really kind of gone away, where a lot of the options now, I personally feel, are going out to bars, and that's about it. Mm-hmm. That's how everyone hangs out. That's how people have a sense of community, or that community exists online.
Right, and so the third comes in where you have basically three reoccurring places in your life. You have home, work, and then it used to be this third place, whether it was, let's say, like you go to the country club or anywhere else.
Coffee shops.
Right, go to, like, with internet now, and I guess also just economy-wise, third spaces have gone away. Now, Emmett, I know you are a little different than us because you have your music, so I would consider your third space
to maybe be a venue.
Yes. And so is there a venue that you frequent? Like, are you there multiple times a week, or is it, like, explain that.
Yeah, it was House of Henry.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday I was going to House of Henry. They'd have an open mic night at 7. Still, I haven't been able to make it for a minute, so I'm looking to potentially maybe go back. We'll see.
Yeah, adapting to a new schedule.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, any venues looking to get a new musician?
Right.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Emmett's kind of like the exception here, where you have been working to make on that third space, but I don't think you've had a third space for the longest time.
Yeah, it's that, and it's also my in-house studio.
I see.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I've been seeing a little bit more, just in different various like Facebook groups, are people trying to create a third space. Whether that's a lot of restaurants now doing trivia nights, where I've seen a couple of those popping up. I believe Scout does one. I'd have to double check. It's either on Sundays or Tuesdays, I believe. There's Proper over on 30 Avenue. They're now doing bingo nights. A lot of places are doing like mahjong meetups, but trying to create some sort of community in having a third space somewhere. And it's really, you know, I was thinking again about malls and the death of malls, and that's not unique to our area. However, we do have the maybe unique aspect of Hurricane Michael came through, and that's really what took away the Panama City Mall. And how that can either be brought back or recreated in a different way, because there really aren't malls in our area. I mean, even out in Destin, there's the Destin outlets, but even then it's an outlet mall. So your option is to be outside rather than being in an enclosed area. And then, from between Panama City and Destin, there's not really a mall, where my understanding, at least from my family's time living here, has been that if you want to go to a mall, you're having to go up to maybe Alabama.
Not even like Tallahassee has a mall?
Maybe. What I was going to add on to that is I have an older sister who lives up in Atlanta, so if they were going to go to visit her, they're stopping at a mall there and doing their shopping and using that third space there rather than going anywhere else.
Right. Where, I mean, we have Pier Park here too, but I don't think it's a place that people say, like, I go there every week, multiple times a week, you know. Also, I kind of want to add on that, like, Hurricane Michael also not only took away, like, the mall, but just other opportunities for a third space.
Yeah.
I know you were talking about like Girl Scouts have
Yeah.
kind of gone away.
But there was a specific, and I'd love to get more information on this and be corrected if someone out there has more info. But my understanding has been that there was a specific Girl Scout location. And I know one of our reporters, Emily Clegg, was talking to me a little bit about this as well, that there are Girl Scout troops in our area, but there's not an actual like office anymore. That it has to do with someone retiring during the time of Hurricane Michael, and no one seemingly stepping up into that role, into that space, and that the closest like actual like office that's not like meeting in someone's home or at any kind of venue is based out of Tallahassee.
Okay.
That went away as well.
Yeah. Let me ask this to you guys. What is a third space you want to get involved in but like currently can't? So I'm going to exclude music for you and the gym, because I know the gym's a place you like to go to as well.
It's pretty much just music in the gym for
Right.
me.
Those are pretty solid third spaces though.
They're great.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. Pickleball was one that I was getting into for a minute too.
So like a third space could also be joining a league, right? So joining a club, so a pickleball club. That's
Running club, pickleball
Yeah.
club. I'm sure there's plenty of those
Plenty,
there in
I bet.
Bay County.
Mia, do you have anything in mind?
I've been saying this since the beginning of the year. This was on my New Year's resolution, but was to get into golf and golfing. Another one would be, there's a lot of things that I'd really love to get involved in, and it's more so a matter of anything that I join, I want to make sure that I'm giving the right amount of time to. And with our schedule being so different than everyone else's, it's a little tough because, you know, we had in some of the ladies from the Guardian Ad Litem Foundation, and that was something that I had really wanted to get involved in, but just don't know about actually being able to designate the time for it. But I think they're a really great organization. That's one that I feel like keeps kind of coming back to me. Mahjong was another one, pivoting away from kind of more important things. But Mahjong was something I really wanted to get into. One of our first How To Tuesdays was on Mahjong. There's so many groups that are popping up that have to do with those meetups. You know, I don't know what else. I mean, there's so many events that we end up covering or things that we have in or around town or that Sean Bro goes out to or guests that we have in. I like the actual heart of the organization. So I think it's fun to go to the events, but the hearts of the organizations are really, really cool too. And just wanting to give more of my time to that. You know what? Something else. I saw recently, and I hope you don't mind me mentioning this, that you had gone to the Young Professionals of Bay County of an event, and I saw there's one over in Walton County where I'm located, and I just saw that Jessica Bracken with Profit PR, who we have on our morning show frequently, that she did a speaking event for that group over at the Citizen, and it was something that I'd flagged and something that like I want to look into, but haven't gotten around to yet.
Yes, certainly. You'd make a lot of good connections doing that.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great opportunity to just meet more people and have more of those community connections, because I really do. I love our community. I love that there's
great.
so much. There's always someone to bring in. There's always an event to talk about, and just such great hearts. That it'd be cool to make some more of those connections. Maybe even give an opportunity to bring more people in to talk about like what they're working on and the various projects going on.
Yeah, the Panhandle certainly has a small town feel that I really like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't believe when I first moved down here that everyone knows everyone, and it, like you just said, it was a very small town vibe. After being here for a year and a half, I definitely feel that, where just because you have so many people, and Mia just did read the story about all like hundreds of millions of people, people coming down here for vacation. But the tight-knit community that's formed for the people who stay, like, it's felt. It really is.
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted to, like, say, even though it is felt and impacted, those aren't, like, third spaces. They're one-off events for the most part and stuff like that. So they're trying to get people to come out because everyone is either at work or at home. So kind of just making that connection right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Where I think there is a lot of conversation online about third spaces, and I think you had mentioned something about this earlier, that it's kind of it's tied into the economy as well, of people not necessarily being able to afford those things. And we were talking about this in another Q&A. I think we were talking about hobbies and talking a little bit about the death of hobbies as well. That was, a lot of people can't necessarily afford to keep up with some of these things. So I feel like having more of these communities or group events or meetups would maybe benefit from finding like a cheaper option for people to join and gather. It's kind of why I like going to House of Henry and doing music. It doesn't really cost you anything unless you want to have a drink or a bite while you're enjoying it. But
yeah, because everyone knows that I'm like a huge golf guy. I don't play golf down here. And as like, you know, a young adult living on their own, I can't afford to get like a country club membership or even just pay the $80, $90 that is just a single round.
yeah.
So I do think money for certain type of third spaces, money does play a big role. But
Yeah.
nothing you can really do. That's why the internet is a third space for a lot of people, because you can go in so many different avenues, and for the most part, you're not paying besides paying for internet, right? So
Yeah, and I think a lot of people saw that too with COVID. There were so many little micro communities that kind of sprung up during that time, because when you kind of throw everyone onto the internet, they kind of tend to find each other. And there were so many little groups that formed out of it. And specifically, I almost want to take it over to TikTok a little bit, because people talk about like book talk. There's
they don't go to book clubs anymore. You just go on TikTok and go to book talk.
Yeah, and see like other people that have read the book and go through the reviews there, instead of kind of having those conversations. Where I had seen somewhere, and I would love for someone to do this, that's the idea of a book club where everyone kind of meets, gathers, talks about like their books, and then they all have like designated time to just like sit and be in each other's company, but read their own books, and every single person's reading a different one. Like, instead of having to like require everyone to read the same book, of like, oh, what are you reading today? And like maybe they can read it next, and they can kind of like, it can be kind of a book swap situation more than anything else. And then it's like, okay, well, it's nice catching up with you, and then pulling out your book and just reading it. But
Should bring that up to the library.
In like a shared space. Yeah. Which they also have like great events, and they do multiple different book clubs, including Chapter Chat. Gotta mention Chapter Chat. That's
met yesterday.
Our very own Jessica Foster. This month's book is actually having to do with, I'm totally blanking on her name. Adams. President's wife, but it's for America 250.
John?
It's John Adams' wife. Abigail.
Abigail, yeah.
Abigail Adams is who the book is about, but that's who the Chapter Chat book is about. And I think it's gonna be a pretty cool one. And I like that it's honoring America 250 and tying into Independence Day. I think it's an awesome one. But yeah, that's also another option for a third space is Chapter Chat.
Yeah, for sure. The Chapter Chat's gonna run today for our daily special.
Oh,
so,
awesome. Yeah, so people can tune in.
The podcast version.
Yeah, so people can tune in on our streaming.
Yeah, 1 o'clock Central.
Amazing. Yeah. Alrighty, well, thanks so much for joining us on this Worldwide Wednesday. Coming up, we are going to check in with Sean Brown.